Welcome to Modern Home Masterminds with beSpoke Brokers. I'm Shawna Glazier, designated broker and owner.
And I'm Brittainy Williamson, associate broker. Shawna and I are beSpoke Real Estate, and we're also your guides to modern luxury across the entire state of Arizona.
Each week, we chat with masterminds shaping the modern spaces. Do you want to get a behind-the-scenes look at your design build team's processes? Well, open communication and teamwork will lead you to a successful project.
From architects to builders, designers, and more, let's explore the art of modern living together.
All right, welcome back, listeners. How does a female founder break into a male-dominated world of custom home building and not just succeed, but thrive? Today's guest, Cammie Beckert, is here to share her story with us.
Yes.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course. So just to give a little background, Cammie is a native Arizonan and a graduate of Arizona State University, currently working on an executive degree at the Harvard University. Cammie's extensive background in media, market research, and real estate prepared her for running one of the few female-owned and run custom home builders in Arizona. She has a broad skill set and passion for product design, employee culture, and client experience, all while bringing a woman's touch to every custom home she builds.
Perfect.
I might have seen your website.
Thank you.
All right, Cammie, you are one of very few females owned and run custom home builders in the U.S., let alone the Valley, and we love that, obviously, as a female-owned business here. Can you tell our listeners what it means to you to be successful in this arena?
What it means to be successful as a builder is having happy clients. A good client experience is, bar none, one of the main key focuses of mine. Success also includes having a team that can execute that client experience. Success is also getting our name out there and working with partners that are aligned with our vision and mission and values and all the, strategic words if you want. So that's just kind of a quick summary of success.
Yeah, no, well, that's the definition of it, right? It's keeping your clients happy, job retention, referrals, keeping them coming. Yeah.
Yes, and we know that you come from a long line of home builders. Your family owns and operates Camelot Homes, correct?
Yes.
And we have had the opportunity to work with them with some of our clients, and we're very impressed with their entire process, especially the customer service piece. But you're branching off into a custom home because we know that Camelot does more tract homes or semi-custom homes. Mm-hmm. How can you tell us how your business differs from Camelot Homes?
So how my business differs. There's a lot of similarities. And at first I thought that we could operate just using the resources and the people that were working on the Camelot side. And it quickly became apparent that pretty much I think the biggest difference is, we build on the Camelot side, a luxury production home. Mm-hmm. And we start with the model. And the model, there's so much time and attention that goes into a model. Mm-hmm. And then we build the community after that. On the custom side, each custom is a model and takes that level of attention. So we really found that we needed the resources to have the focus on the product.
And this came from clients walking in and saying, I like this, but could you do this? Could you do that? Making changes? Is that the impetus?
For the longest time, well, really, one of the impetus was a community called Whitehorse. Mm-hmm. And it's a project that we historically have been known for our attention to detail and design. And that's kind of like the secret sauce, I think, that makes us who we are. But there is this community, Whitehorse, that took it to another level. Mm-hmm. And we had like 1,000 people coming through a week. It was busloads. And slowly people were like, hey, can you build this for us on our lot? And there were enough of those requests that were like, we got
there's something here.
There's something here. And so that's when we really decided to pivot, or I pivoted from what I was doing at the company at the time, and just asked for the support of, hey, with my parents' family business, would you support if I just solely focused on creating this business and growing it?
So question, when Whitehorse, when you're getting all that activity, was Bronco the second
Yeah.
phase, was that already thought of, or did White
No.
Horse get so much attention that?
So White Horse, there are 40 lots in White Horse, and it was a challenge in getting that zone and onboarded with all the neighbors, and so that was its own just discipline. And then the land became available for Bronco, and it just happened to
Yeah.
be there, and B, the how the site laid out. We were able to get the product to fit, and yeah,
Our most recent clients bought in Skyview, which I think
they
is an
did.
excellent location.
it's so beautiful.
And I think it's important that Camelot still does very custom with their clients. Like they're still
Yes.
in there. You can customize, you can upgrade, you can do all that. What's different about Cameron Custom is the client comes to you with the land, and you can go anywhere
Exactly.
and make them a full
Yeah.
custom home.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on that thought, just for clarity, so what started as, hey, can you build this one of your homes on our site? And of course, everyone wants to customize it. That evolved to, hey, we like this architect, like let's say Eric Peterson, PHX. Can you work with this architect and build on our lot? And then just slowly the evolution to a true custom builder has come to fruition.
Right. And that's actually the next question is Cameron Customs a full design build
Yes.
firm?
Yes.
And can you tell us about your team? So it sounds like you guys do have in-house architecture and building, but you also work with outside
Actually,
architects.
it's a little bit of a twist to that. So if someone were to come and say, hey, Cammie, I like the Cheval model from White Horse or Bronco or Skyview. And we have a gentleman that we've worked with, an architect that we've worked with for like over 15 plus years. He's not in-house, but he's like the closest thing to in-house. So we work with outside architects. Like if you can envision a true just taking the Camelot production mindset away. In fact, that's why we chose to rebrand as Cameron Custom. So people understood it's like there's this option, but there's also this option, and either take one of our plans, use it as, there are people that just love them, and that's okay. But then there's a lot of talent in the Valley. So tapping into, the talent and being able to work with the architects, interior designers is just fun.
So tell us a little bit about your team that you have right now. Who you're working with.
So my team, so for the longest time, just some history on that. As I developed the business and the division, I was using some of the Camelot resources, as I might have mentioned earlier. And I felt like I was kind of the redheaded stepchild because everyone has their plate. It's full, right? Like, go, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? From accounting to just the admin side of things. And so finally, with about 3 years ago, hired a team one by one that's been dedicated to just the Cameron Custom. So I have a gentleman that is my VP of Ops, and he is my wingman. I'm very people oriented and going out and meeting clients and again, I keep mentioning talent, but the architects, interior designers. So that's me. He is all operations, and he's a people person, but he likes to sit in front of the computer and just like manage everything. And so we have him, and then we also have specific site managers. I have a purchasing team dedicated. I have a project coordinator, is kind of like a concierge to the client, one dedicated to the pre-construction process, because that, going through the design phase, that can be, I don't want to scare anyone, but from design to permits and everything else, that can be every bit of 8 months.
Our listeners know. I'm pretty sure our audience knows.
Yeah. So we have someone dedicated to helping the client go through that phase, and then we have someone dedicated to the construction phase.
That's awesome. I feel like you've put together a really good team based on all of this knowledge and history that you have, because I feel like Camelot Homes kind of nailed it in with the production home, right?
They did, and it's it's big shoes to fill, like, because the name has been around, and I've always, prior to working the family business, I didn't necessarily appreciate what my family has created. And so once I started working the family business, when realtors would say, oh, you work at Camelot. Camelot's such a great product. And there's a sense of pride that goes with that. So, yeah.
It's beautiful.
So tell us, can you kind of walk us through the process? Because it sounds like you're the one meeting with clients
Yes.
and kind of, holding their hand through this
Yes.
sort of thing. Can you tell us what that process is like? Like if we're a client, if one of our listeners is a client coming to you saying, hey, Cammie, I want to build a home with you.
Yeah. So the first step is that phone conversation of just understanding the client's needs. And just what is it that you're looking for? What is your vision? What is your budget? That's one of the biggest, let's work backwards from that budget. And I basically kind of set the stage. So I want people to feel comfortable just sharing every aspect of what they're interested in, even budget. And so from there, depending on what their vision is, depending on, again, budget, style, if they like contemporary or if they like a soft, modern Mediterranean, understanding what their style is instrumental in me kind of getting a vision of who I want to pick as a team, designer, architect, landscape architect for the client. So start out with that. Dream project is we have everyone selected before we have like that first kickoff meeting. So everyone gets to hear the client's vision at the same time. And then from there, we work with the architect and sit in on the client meetings and get like a conceptual plan together. Once we have a conceptual plan, we talk again budget, because we always want to manage to that budget. Once we get the conceptual plan, at that point, we can really dial in get a pulse on what the house is going to cost. So we put a preliminary budget together. The client's good to go. Then we make sure the interior designer is aware of, hey, this is where we're at budget-wise. So when you go to select your finishes, keep this in mind. Because the last thing we want to do is spend all this time creating putting this vision together, the pieces together, and then at the end of the day, go to bid it out, and people can't, afford what
you don't want to create something they can't really have. Yeah.
So, and then from there, we work with from construction drawings, city permitted, or getting the permits. We work alongside the architects to help just manage that process. Ideally, we contract the architect. So that way we have a little bit more control of just pushing the project.
Yeah.
And then generally the client will contract directly with the interior designer, but we still are really involved in the process. So yeah, once we get through that preliminary budget, we get construction drawings, we bid out, then we do that final budget, and then there's a pre-start meeting, and I'm making this all sound like
No.
yeah.
I feel like as much as you're talking about budget, that is what clients want.
Yes.
Yeah.
They want to know that they're being heard. And sometimes they get in over their head with like somebody who's maybe just designing something that isn't within their budget, and they fall in love with it, and then they can't. So with your integration of all the components, they know from the beginning and how involved you are in listening to what they want and only showing them maybe what they want within their budget.
Yeah. And I've experienced the outcome of someone who ideally you want to get your builder and architect first before you go anywhere. I've had a client that got the architect, interior design. This is a project that we're really excited for. Beautiful work. And it was like $1 million off budget. And they came to us and what can we do to value engineer this? So I want to prevent that as much as possible.
Yeah.
I feel like I really figured out who you guys were, or the buzz around your company was at a design award show.
Yeah.
And they won 19 awards. And it was like every other award was
It's
like,
a little embarrassing.
no, but the
No, it shouldn't be.
project, I'm curious because you guys brought in designer Joel Contreras, which I'm a huge fan of, and we specialize in a lot of modern and mid-century modern.
Yeah.
So we follow his stuff, and that design, it just seems like a home run. Was that a spec project, or what was?
So that was actually family business. So that project was really driven by my brother Trent.
We should see if we have any Skyview photos up there.
You do.
I mean, it really just got a buzz around your company.
It did, and that was part of the vision. So my brother, I can see talent and have such an appreciation for beautiful design, but to create it in my own head, that's a whole nother level. That
We're the same way.
are you?
We're the same way. Don't worry.
So I'm the let's get shit done, and my
Yes.
brother is the let's dream.
Yeah.
And so the two combined, and Trent was very involved in Skyview. And Skyview started as, so my brother had gotten interested in like Airbnbs and luxury Airbnbs. So he had a vision of, hey, let's do these Airbnbs. People get a feel for what it feels like to live in one of our homes, and that will be a springboard to coming and building a custom or, looking at Camelot.
Brilliant.
So I love the idea. I'm like,
I mean,
okay.
Did it work? It worked as far as notoriety, but I imagine people renting a house it was on the south side of Camelot Mountain, right?
Yeah.
They maybe already live here, or they don't live here.
Correct.
So it's going to build business for you outside of Arizona.
Or people that are looking to move here.
Right.
Now they've got something and a name to
There you
kind of
go.
associate with. That's the goal. Has it played out? We're year one in, so not yet, but he definitely has gotten our name out there through that project.
Yeah.
So
Brilliant. Seems like you guys collaborate well together.
he's fun to work with and really enjoy it.
Yeah. So I do want to look at some of these photos that your team sent over, just so we can get an idea.
So do you want me to speak to some of them?
Sure.
Okay.
Maybe
so
describe a little bit about it.
This home, I'm so excited for. It's a charming home for a family that this is one of our first entrees into Arcadia. We've done a couple remodels, but this is our first new build. And this family actually came to us with the architect already selected. It's a family member, and they've been great to work with. The wife is very into design, so that's always fun to have someone that really appreciates design.
Yeah. And it's very modern farmhouse.
Like,
kinda
yeah, it's a
looking
modern-
perfect for Arcadia.
So
Ooh, I like this one.
Yeah.
this one is in the PV area, and I'm so excited. This is a spec.
Tell us
we're
more.
using with
Yes.
Susan Begeman.
This is why I love
Yeah.
it.
I know.
Yeah, we're
Susan,
working with
she's the
Susan, and
best.
she, oh my gosh, this is the first project I've done with her, and I'm hoping to get many more. So when those calls come in, I'm just
Yes.
hopeful that the stars align with, and I have one prospect actually that might be a good fit. So we just love this style, and we just in working with her, she's phenomenal. Within a couple weeks time, she actually first submittal got the permit.
Wow.
I thought we had months to work on the interior. So we're working on interiors, and we have this lot with a permitted house ready to go. So I feel like it's
a flat or is it hillside? It looks flat.
yeah.
Is that an atrium with a tree in the middle? Or are we looking through the house?
No. So I'll have to show you guys maybe part of this. I can show you
Yeah.
the floor plan.
I'd love to see it.
But that's on the other side of the house. There's like a little sitting area. So we want to get that indoor, outdoor feel.
And just for our listeners, I mean, I almost think it looks a little albedo-ish with the floor-to-ceiling glass and a little bit mid-century.
I'm sure it's a little higher than 8 feet,
design,
though.
but yes, taller.
Yeah, mid-century is definitely the inspiration here.
Yes, beautiful.
Who are you bringing on for landscape on that?
Burga.
Oh, nice.
Burga's part of the team. And then interiors, I was hoping for some point I'd like to do some work with David Michael Miller. So
Okay.
I was hoping to sprinkle him in.
Oh, that would be a dream team.
It would be.
It would. So right now, I believe, which is another dream team, my brother's going to help with the interior selections on that. So we're working a little bit more internal, but someday.
Well, thank you for sharing these with us. We like to do a little rapid fire for the end.
All right.
This wasn't in our pre-podcast call, so you're not going to know what's coming.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
They're not hard, though.
Okay.
If you were a superhero, what superhero would you be?
Wonder Woman?
Of course.
Spin around and
Lasso everything together,
conquer the
right?
world. Yes.
That's awesome. What tends to be the most important thing to women when they are building the custom home?
Definitely just all the interiors, the finishes. That's huge. It's huge. There are many husbands that sit in the conversation of what the design is going to look like. I'm like, okay, well, can I have that room? can I have the bathroom, like upstairs,
Right.
just so they can have their own sense of
Space.
and just having some say in one decision, but generally, for sure, the interior finishes there.
So everything is the answer.
Yes.
Pretty much.
I mean, I feel like we can tell sometimes when we walk into a space when there hasn't been a woman involved. Like you look around and you're like, something's missing.
The warmth.
Yes. Yeah. Or some things don't make sense. Like it's not a natural flow.
But vice versa.
know.
It also sometimes needs both sides. And we
Yes,
see that
I
on
agree.
both, which is why it's important to have a design team that is inspiring you.
Yes.
And quite frankly, a real estate team behind saying, hey,
This is what's,
I know you think this is your forever house,
Right.
but in the future, someone is going to have to sell it. So
Absolutely. And that's always in the back of my mind, too. I mean, it's just ingrained in me.
Yeah.
Okay, you like this, but think of that.
what is your favorite area in the valley?
That is a really good question. So I live in DC Ranch, Silverleaf area. So I happen to love that. I think because it's home, but when you or some days when I'm driving down, let's say Thompson Peak, and either the sun is rising, like the mountains are just so majestic.
Yeah. That's my area too. And in the evening when the mountains are purple, that it just,
it's kind of the same feeling that you get. I experience when you're in California, you see the ocean, is that sense of awe.
Yeah. What's your favorite guilty pleasure television show?
I'm not a big TV person, so
So maybe a book if you're
No, I mean my favorite. I'm so old, but Seinfeld is like my favorite.
Yeah.
I can sit and watch Seinfeld and just there's no worries in the world. It's just you just gotta
funny.
laugh and
Yeah.
no stress.
That's a good one. I love Seinfeld. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received in business?
So I'm going to go back to something that I've mentioned, not here, but in previous kind of interviews, and stepping into this realm of a startup company within a company. There was a Harvard exercise we did when I was at Harvard, and it was the concept of failing forward. So you're going to make mistakes. And being okay with, hey, this is part of the process in order to learn. That was fundamental in giving me the strength to be able to get through some challenges. I'm like, okay, this is a learning thing. We're going to regroup, learn from it, redo it, and then move forward from there.
Love it.
Yeah, that's great advice.
It really is.
I think we could all use that. Hard sometimes, right?
I'm just wondering, are we failing at a podcast and we're going to learn how to move forward?
Maybe.
In general.
Maybe.
No.
This was her idea.
You guys are nailing it.
That was
nailing
no,
it.
but that was a great response. It really was, and it's the truth. Like so many people take failure and then they just stop.
Yeah.
But learn from it.
Yeah.
And where can you go from there?
And there was actually a visual exercise to it. So at this program, there are 200 participants who get broken up into groups of 100. in classes, and this professor had us go into this space where there was a floor mat and it had a grid on it. And underneath the mat, like a checkerboard grid, there were sensors. And so we got broken into groups of 8 and we didn't know where the sensors were. So we had to figure out the path. And so each person would try a path and then the sensor would go off and then you'd have to go back. And so each person was watching and learning by doing. And then eventually we figured out the path. And then it became a restructure of, okay, now we know the path. How efficiently and how fast can we go through the path?
Yes.
So I always have that visual in my head.
Like there's going to be failures in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always think about like little kids, right? Like toddlers when they're first starting to walk. They get up and they take a step and they fall.
And no big deal.
No big deal. They just do it again. And literally before you know it, they're running. Similar to the exercise that he was teaching. So that is great advice. Well, Cammie, thank you so much for coming on our podcast today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's very nice to meet you both.
Yes, you as well. We are going to share your contact information in our show notes, but if you wouldn't mind just telling our listeners the best place to find you.
The best place to find us would probably be either our website or Instagram. So Cameron Custom AZ is where you'll find us.
Yeah, it's a great website.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, that's it for today's episode of Modern Home Mastermind with Bespoke Brokers. If you've enjoyed the show, please like, rate, and subscribe.
Yes, and thanks to our guest for sharing her insights with us and to you for learning about everything modern with us.
If you are ready to take your next step in your real estate journey, please reach out to us at Bespoke Real Estate. And until next time, keep living, loving everything modern.